Fine, so let's start today's session. So last class we learned about the list of prepositions and their usage in the sentence, and few prepositions used with country and city according to the gender of the country, and we learned about the contracted articles which are derived from the preposition. So those were the last class portions. So today we are going to learn about a new list of words, a few words that's already shared with you, and also we are going to do a worksheet on some French grammar exercises, which will help you to face the CAT exams. So here are a list of few words. So la famille, let me read the words. La famille, le père, la mère, le frère, la sœur, le fils, la fille, le mari, la femme, l'oncle, la tante, le cousin, la cousine, the masculine feminine form, le copain, la copine, the masculine and feminine form. Right, so you can see here these are a few words where you can't apply the rule of identifying the gender by the ending, because you see these are all related to human beings, right? When it's pair, you can't say it ends with E, so it will be feminine. So pair is masculine, frère is masculine, right? Sir doesn't end with E. Since it's sister, it's going to be feminine. So these are few words we have to learn the meanings and then guess the gender. So we have few more list of words, like we have a list of few classroom objects, la salle de classe. You have a list of few words related to la ville, la maison, les professions. The professions are given in two genders. We learn about the gender differences and the rules for applying the changing the gender and those later, not now. So now you just know the vocabulary. And then you have les parties du corps, les vêtements, les fruits, and les légumes. Now these are just a few subheadings with a few words, basic words that you should remember. So I'll be uploading this in Meetup, so I just want you to write it down in your note and learn the spellings and the meanings. Right. So now we'll continue with the worksheet that I was talking about. Shall we? Any questions here? So all the nouns are written with the articles, so you can guess the gender easily if you don't know the rule. So let me just work out the exercise for you once now, and later on you should be able to solve by yourself. So here the first one is météo négative. Météo négative. So mété is from the verb être, which means to put. Right? So météo négative, put a negative. And you should know which is the negative form. And the next step, you have to identify the verb. So how do you identify the verb? Which is the verb in the first sentence? Can one of you tell? Which is the verb in the first sentence?
Ma'am, saw.
Yeah, song. That's it. So others I have done it myself. So this identification of a verb would be easier if you're thorough with the verb and its corresponding conjugated form, right? So for such an exercise, we need not know the meaning of the sentence also. So you need not get stuck with the unknown words. So if you can clearly see only the verbs, then that's more than enough, right? And it's a very easy exercise. So I've identified the verb in all the five sentences. And now I'm going to add NERPA. So where do I add that NERPA?
Ma'am, no before the verb and pa before after the verb.
Yes, very good. Thank you. So it's NER before and now the sentences are all in the negative form. Is there any difficulty here in this exercise? Of course, the difficult part is identifying the verb. If you're thorough with that, then it's going to be a very simple one. Any other doubt here? So I'm not translating the sentences for you. You just try to find it yourself for yourself. Unless it's absolutely necessary, I'm not going to translate it. So you need to work on the meaning part. Okay, let's proceed with the next one. It says, responde o question. Responde means respond. It comes from the verb respond, which means to answer. Respond, respond, to reply, to answer. Fine. So there are five questions. All the five questions are in the very familiar interrogative form that you have learned. We have learned the interrogative form using esker and another interrogation with the inverse form of the subject and the verb. So I used all the same two concepts here in these questions. Fine. So let's try answering to it. So let me tell you which is the verb here. The verb used is etudier, which means study. So when you are answering, you may not do all this. Just for explanation purpose, I am writing down the verb. So I've used the verb etudier, which is an ER verb in this sentence. So now the meaning, you would get the meaning. Etudiez-vous à l'université de VIT? So do you study here? Are you studying in VIT? And obviously all the questions are of yes or no type. Not going to stop with that yes or no. You got to write the answer in the complete sentence. So how do we complete it? Yes, I study. Shityuti sure. Yuti VIT. Now the answer is complete. Oui, j'étudie à l'université de VIT. So what's to be noted is the change in the ending of each verb. So I keep repeating it in all the classes. So ethidia here, since the subject is who, it's in the EZ form, whereas here it's answering in je. So the ending changes to E. So this is the only thing you have to do. The remaining sentence you have to take it down from the question. So answering will be easier. So just change the verb form and write the correct subject form with yes or no. If you are putting the answer in the no form, then you have to add NERPA as we did previously. The next question, verb used is ali. If you have any doubt, please stop me. So the verb used is Ali. Est vous allez au cinéma? So the keywords Ali go, cinema, weekend. Question: do you go to cinema the weekend? Are you going to the theater cinema the weekend? The weekend. So if you're going, you're going to say we. Cinema. So the verb has changed from aller to be fitness. So vous allez, je vais. And the third sentence, the verb used is like. Est-ce que vous aimez le football? Est-ce que vous aimez? Est-ce que vous aimez le football? Do you like football? So if you like, you say yes. If not, you say no. No, je n'aime pas. Right? So here you can see the EZ has changed to E, and obviously since it's no, I'm got to add the negation, no pa. Fine. And then the next question, the verb used is voyage. So, est-ce que tu voyages? Do you travel much? A lot. A lot. Do you travel a lot? If yes, you say yes. If you don't know, if you don't, you can say no. I don't travel. So when the ending, the question is tu, so the ending is yes. Here the ending changes to e. Tu voyages, je voyage. And the last one, the word used is avoir, which means. So have you brothers? Do you have brothers? Some brothers. J'ai. So the verb is avi. Here it changes to ai. Is it here any clarification needed in any of the sentences? Please ask. We have it.
What's the translation of the last sentence?
Do you have brothers? Yes, I have. Do you have some brothers? Yes, I have some brothers. So when you get such an exercise in the exam, make it a point to write a complete sentence. That's the purpose of the exercise. Don't stop with yes, no, yes, no. Then you will not score marks. You have to write the complete sentence. And make sure your handwriting, the spellings, the alphabets is very clear, because you can see most of the verbs that only the endings change. If your yes or E or Z doesn't look clear, yes looks like E, E looks like Z, then I can't help it. However I see, I will do it with the marks. So make sure your handwriting is very clear, at least towards the end of each word. Fine. Any questions here? So please read the question carefully, learn the questions I will say. So if you don't understand the question, you can't answer. The next one is not a new one. You have done such an exercise already. Completely awake la form correct the complete with the correct form of the word. So you know the word awake is a preposition that we learned with due, the contracted article of the verb, the correct form of the verb. So the verbs are mentioned within bracket. And you know, fair is a irregular verb. You need to know the conjugation of fair. I'll just do one for you. I'll conjugate fair. If you haven't written it down so far, make it a point to write down all the verbs for your reference in your notes. This is a move form. So you can see these are the different forms of fair. Jeffrey, Tufe, Ilfe, Alfe, Lufe, Song, Ufat, Ilfo, Alpha. So from these 8 forms, you have to pick one for the fill up. So which would be the right one? Can one of you answer? So to pick the right one, you need to know the subject. The subject is le médecin. So if you don't know what is le médecin, you can just see the word article, le. I've already given you the hint when we did a similar exercise earlier. When you see the le there, obviously the suitable pronoun for le will be il. Le is the masculine form of article and il is the masculine form here. So lo médecin means the doctor. Okay, if you don't know médecin, I'll put the word doctor, which is a very, which is similar to English. Le docteur. Both of the words mean the same, médecin and doctor. So now can you say what would be the answer?
Ma'am, Faith.
Yeah, F-A-I-T. You pronounce it as fate. If you say that's fat, then this is the word which is pronounced as fat. Faits. Okay, so the word is fate. So I'm not going to do all this in the exam. I'm not going to write down all the forms. Just the answer is FAIT. That's all. So if you have the conjugation, you can refer and write the word. That's all. The second one, thew. The verb is vulvar. So the verb form will be VUX. So the meaning will be tu veux aller à l'hôpital, you want to go to the hospital. Le docteur fait du sport means the doctor does some sports, means he's practicing sports. Le samedi il travaille. Le samedi il travaille. So the subject is given directly here, ILS. Then the conjugation of pouvoir would be verb. The Saturday, they work. Or the Saturdays, on Saturdays, they can work. Travailler means to work. It's also near to work. And the next sentence is Sir Chanteur. No, okay, I'll make this. This is a new word for you, so I'll make it. Le chanteur means the singer. Okay, so you can see the article is le. I've already given you the hint. If it's le, you're going to choose the il form, il form. For il, it's an er verb. Shanti is an er verb, so you have to change the ending according to the subject. What would be the ending for il,
E, ma'am.
e? That's all. Le chanteur ne chante pas bien. The singer is not singing well. So here the sentence is in the interrogative form. So the subject is written and the next after the verb form, and the verb no for mood ending is ez. So these two are direct questions. So are you confident of doing such an exercise? So whatever may be the verb, you should be able to write the right form.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, for the interrogative sentences, like before the word, do we need to have add s kaise?
No
Like
need.
gift teste?
No need. It's already given in the inverse form. That is the.
Okay,
The
ma'am.
same thing. The question can be asked like this, if you want to put it. Question can be asked like this. Who deteste la pizza? Yes, so here I use inverse form in the sentence. Here I am using it with yes. Either way, the answer will be ending in ez. So you need not change the form of any of the sentence. You just write the correct spelling. That's all. So here the again answer would be deteste. Est-ce que vous détestez la pizza? Detestez-vous la pizza? So meaning is same. Do you hate pizza? Is it clear? Okay. So next we'll see another type of exercise. Here you can see it's like pronouns usually. You have to find the subject. In the previous exercise, the subject was all given. You had to write the correct verb form. Here the verbs are given. You have to find the subject. The other way around. So obviously the verbs are all after the fill up. Yes, after each fill up there's a verb. ONT, ET, SSS, ONT, DYV, NTP, UT. These are all verbs. So you have to find the corresponding subject. So for that again you need to know which verb is this and for which form the verb is ONT. Can anybody guess which verb is this? ONT?
Ma'am, avoir,
Avoir, right? So what would be the subject?
is,
Yes. It can also be an, right? Because for both plural it's the same form. So two answers are possible. It can be eels or al, eel or al plural. And the next one, it's ETEs, ETES. So ETES belongs to which verb and in which form it's written as ETES. These are the questions you should answer.
ma'am, être
Yes, it's être,
and vous être.
that, vous êtes. Yes. So what would be sont? So for others, if you don't follow, I'll put the verb form here for your reference. So in this sentence, the verb is avoir. In this sentence, the verb is être. The next verb, again être. So the subject would be ILS or PLLES, either of it. And then Sorry. And then here the verb, if you have learned the verbs, it's easy to answer. So just I'm giving it. In the exam, this won't be mentioned. The verbs won't be mentioned with the bracket. You have to identify the verb and check the correct subject. That's all. So here in this sentence, I use the verb devoir, which means should, and it's in the plural form. So two answers are possible. Devoir, devoir. So they should read some novels. And the last sentence, the verb used is devoir, and the conjugated form is it's conjugated for or am. Either of the answer is possible. So he wants some tea, she wants some tea. Il veut du thé, elle veut du thé. Is it clear? So remember, it's going to be open book, isn't it? So the questions may not be direct. So here some questions are direct questions. So it can be asked in any way. So you should be able to, only if you are completely aware, thorough of the concept, you can answer to any twisted form of questions. Fine. So here we are just practicing few sentences, exercises to make the other exercises so that the other exercises that you may get in the exam will be familiar. So it's not that you'll be getting exactly the same one. The questions might be changed here and there. So that's why I repeat, learn the verbs and their conjugations and the different concepts behind the affirmative, negative, interrogative, the usage of preposition in the sentence, the article in the sentence, the contracted article. We have learned only four topics: the verb, articles, prepositions, contracted articles. So under these four topics, along with these four topics, you need to learn the word meanings, the list of words that's already uploaded. So if you're thorough with this, you can do the exam easily. At least if you're not even if you're not learning, write it down in a notebook. That's what I keep repeating. Fine. So any doubt here? So try to translate the sentences that I haven't done for you. Just try to find the meanings. And yeah, one last exercise where météo pluriel. Do you understand this question? What does this mean? Météo
Change
pluriel.
to plural.
Yes, we have to change to plural. We have to change the entire sentence to the plural form. Okay, let me put the question. Put the entire sentence in the plural form. Toute la phrase means all the sentence, means entire sentence, not all. Put the entire sentence in the plural form. So wherever possible, you have to make it plural. So you can see here the first sentence, le journaliste est dans le bureau. So here, le journaliste, the plural of journalist. Journalist is journalist. So journalist, I'll add a S and make it plural, and the article also will change to plural. So it's les journalistes. Since it's les journalistes, the subject, the verb will change to plural. So the journalist is in the office becomes the journalists are. So what would be the R form? EST is this form. The R form is again it's verb actor involved. So the journalists are in the office. So wherever possible, you have to make it plural. Prepositions can't be made plural. Yes, the journalists are in the office. If you want, you can make it plural offices. It would be. I think we'll stop with this. So les journalistes sont dans le bureau. Okay, let me change this also into plural and show you how to change it. So les journalistes sont dans, and what is the plural of le? It is les, right? It's articles. And the plural of bureau would be. Did you notice the change? Plural words are all ending with S and the verb forms are different. So there are certain words which will take X in place of S. So what are such words? The words which end with EAU. Words which end with EAU or AU, they'll take a X in place of S. Right? I'll give you a few examples below. So these are a few examples which will take X. Chapeau, chapeau's hat, the hat. So the plural form. And the singular form, you know, it's, I don't know the X in le chapeau, le chateau, les bateaux, les eaux, l'eau, les gâteaux. So water, we don't have plural form, just for the sake of applying the rule I'm putting it here. So these are few words which will take X. So bureau falls under that. So the plural words will take a S, the plural nouns will take a S only if it ends with this ending, the U ending. Yes, if you remember this U, the U endings, it will take X. Yes. Okay, so now I've changed the sentence to plural. Leisure. The sentence was the journalist is in the office. Now it has changed to the journalists are in the offices. Or you can stop with this also. Are in the office. Fine. Any doubt here? Okay, let's try to put this sentence into the plural form. What is the plural of ELLE? Al becomes al plural, right? And the verb, what would be the ending?
ENT.
Nt is plural of un, es. apples. That's all. So what would be the plural of this sentence? You can't make the interrogative form to plural. The expression remains the same. So Yeska would be Yeska, right? And the plural of dew is
Woo.
and the verb form is EZ, and the city will become cities. That's so I've changed the sentence to the plural, the entire sentence to the plural form. So she eats an apple becomes they eat some apples. The you visit the city becomes the you visit the city. The you is changed to plural. The cities. So this is an exercise, so you have to convert the entire sentence to the plural form. So for this, obviously you need to know again, identify the verb and its different forms, identify the articles and its plural form. Yes. Any doubt here? I think I'll stop here for today. So next class will be continue doing such exercises. Meanwhile, I want you to go through it. I'll be uploading this worksheet. Write it down. Write down all the questions that we've been doing so far. Everything. Yes, please write it down in your notebook and practice.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, the CAT paper will also be in a similar format.
I'll tell you about the pattern of the question paper in the next class.
Okay, thank
And
you.
if you're able to answer to all the questions that we've been seeing right now, then it would be more easier. That's all. It will be almost a part of it will be the same. I can't give away all the questions right now. So if you can do all these questions thoroughly in a confident way, then you'll be able to complete it. I mean, do your exam well.
Okay.
So others who are all listening silently without replying and all, please go through it before coming for next class. Before coming for Thursday's class, I want you to write down all this in your notes and practice. Only then you'll be ready to ask some doubts. If not, you'll be sitting the same way ideally. Right? Meet you all Thursday. Thank you.
Ma'am, preposition